Hey, what's up, everyone? Hope you're doing good. One of the biggest things you'll notice right away is how much new narrative content has been added. The Visions of Four Heroes content is essentially a set of alternate history storylines. And if you're someone who enjoys the what if side of the Three Kingdoms era, this is where the update really shines. Instead of retreading the same familiar path, the game explores scenarios centered around Zhang Jiao, Dong Zhuo, Yuan Shao, and Lu Bu, each offering a very different tone and perspective. These aren't just short side missions either. They feel like fully realized branches that let you see how events could have unfolded if these figures had truly reshaped history in their own image. It gives the game a fresh sense of replayability, especially if you've already completed the main storyline and wanted a reason to jump back in. Gameplay-wise, the update introduces new companions and character-related content that blends nicely with the existing systems. Characters like Diao-chan and Juhei add more personality to battles and cutscenes, and they aren't just there for flavor. Their abilities and interactions make combat encounters feel more dynamic, particularly in larger-scale fights where positioning and timing matter. There's also a sense that the developers wanted these additions to feel meaningful rather than optional extras, and that comes through in how naturally they integrate into both combat and progression. Another important addition is the new Training Ground mode. This might not sound exciting at first, but it's actually one of those quality of life features that ends up being incredibly useful. It gives players a dedicated space to experiment with weapons, practice combos, and really understand how different mechanics work without the pressure of a full battlefield. For newer players, it's a great way to learn the flow of combat, and for veterans, it's a perfect place to fine-tune builds and test out newly added weapons and upgrades. Speaking of weapons, the update also expands the arsenal with new options and upgrade paths, giving you more freedom to customize how your character fights. It's subtle, but over time it adds a lot of depth. On the technical side, this update includes a range of stability improvements and bug fixes. These aren't always the most exciting things to talk about, but they matter. Players have reported smoother performance during large battles, fewer hiccups during cutscenes, and more consistent behavior from enemy AI. Small visual issues and minor glitches have also been cleaned up, which helps the overall presentation feel more polished. When you're charging into massive battles with dozens of characters on screen, those little improvements make a real difference in how immersive the experience feels. There's also support added for new achievements tied to the updated content, which gives completion-focused players more goals to chase. Whether you're aiming to finish every alternate storyline or master every weapon, there's now more incentive to keep pushing forward. It feels like the update was designed with long-term players in mind, offering reasons to keep playing beyond just finishing the main campaign. What stands out the most about this update is how cohesive it feels. Rather than being a random collection of changes, everything connects back to expanding the world and giving players more ways to engage with it. The new stories deepen the lore, the gameplay additions enhance combat variety, and the technical fixes smooth out the overall experience. It's the kind of update that reminds you why this series has lasted so long, because it understands its core strengths and builds on them instead of trying to reinvent everything at once. If you're someone who stepped away from the game after finishing the main story, this update gives you a solid reason to return. And if you've been playing consistently, it feels like a rewarding expansion that respects the time you've already put in. Overall, it's a strong update that adds meaningful content, improves stability, and keeps the momentum going in a way that feels natural for the series, making Dynasty Warriors. Origins feel more complete and more exciting to play than ever.